Welcome to the introduction of the Amazon Serverless Services. This is our latest summary, which you can also use for the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam by ABLEAD. In addition, we offer service introductions, exam question explanations and practicing of real exams on Udemy. AWS Serverless Services serve to build today's apps to fulfill multiple requests and different tasks in real time from anywhere and anybody with any device. You need only lowest overhead without any fixed costs. With it, you can realize mainly event-driven architect solutions with also integrating other traditional solutions. You can use the accordingly services to build interactive web and mobile backends with real-time streamed medias. If customers need to access individual AI or ML models with its background training, you can apply serverless solutions. It also supplements communication between decoupled services based on event-driven functions. Another common use case are fast and low-cost single-page apps. Now let's have a look at the architecture cases in detail. If your mobile backend solution processes all requested API methods with one Lambda function, it grows with each new deployment to become too complex to work with. Also, your API gateway doesn't allow to connect to critical information, stored in a private non-serverless RDS database in a private VPC subnet. The solution is to create only one small Lambda function per API method to avoid Lambda custom code for its parameters. Also, you can use the integrated Lambda functions as a proxy for API gateway to call VPC endpoints and an elastic network interface to access the private subnet for RDS. The accordingly solution workflow for the mobile backend Lambda often includes AWS Cognito for the access to the API tokens. Your clients can then request to view and share public information from DynamoDB, or they request private information from RDS database. Another example are single-page apps on a server to operate fast and limited cost tasks for you. For this, serverless solutions separate static and dynamic operations, and it provides the most cost-effective S3 static websites without any server. You can combine it with CloudFront to enable secure HTTPS routing and to further improve performance. The first step in the workflow is the enabled custom SSL/TLS certificate, managed by AWS ACM for internet-facing CloudFront and API gateway. Then, your client's browser loads the static S3 webpage via secure HTTPS and CloudFront. Your app requests in parallel to view the JSON information from DynamoDB and object data from S3. In the end, all requested dynamic information shows up in the single static webpage. For your event-driven, global web app with multiple public APIs and a static S3 frontend, the performance and security might be dissatisfactory. In such a case, the internet-facing CloudFront connecting all app services reduces latency and protects your app architecture. With CloudFront, you use only one domain to avoid slow cross-resource sharing by the app services. Your accordingly solution workflow enables custom SSL/TLS certificates with AWS ACM, and the app logs into Cognito for the two API tokens. Then, your client's browser loads static S3 webpage via secured CloudFront and the client accesses the web app. It requests data via Lambda function role and all requested information shows up in a single page. Last but not least, your web app might also experience performance issues because of high latency from an external backend. Limited by the maximum 29 seconds timeout of your API gateway. Your proposed serverless solution is to loosely couple backend services with serverless SQS and an additional Lambda service. SQS is highly scalable with persisting asynchronous request-response buffering and assisted retry logic for at least once delivery. That way, your front-end avoids disruption from longer-lasting backend operation. Altogether, serverless solutions and its services offer to build modern apps for multiple user requests in real time at lowest overhead without any fixed costs. With this understanding, you are ready for more details on serverless services. If you want to prepare and safely pass the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam, we recommend to also practice our real exams on Udemy. We wish you further insights with ABLEAD videos.